Hello and welcome to another episode of Goa 365's Story Behind the Story. There are a lot of issues that have been hitting the state in the recent past. It has been fires, it has been the work that is going on in the cities, Panjim has become a battle zone, water, lots of issues. And coupled with that is the high powered, high octane push for the Lok Sabha by the BJP. But today we are discussing a little different issue, an issue which is non-political and which is very important for Goa's survival, because Goa lives on tourism. Whatever anybody might say, mining, XYZ, pharma and all, but Goa and Goans live on tourism. The majority of them, a large number of them, including on excise and all that. So and our Goan name, face of tourism has taken a bad hit in the past 1 year, despite all the efforts of the government. I'm not saying government is not making effort, it's making, but certain basic things have failed quite miserably, I would like to say, on record. So to discuss these issues and see what could possibly be the positive side of this, or how the solutions can be found, as you know, on this show we mostly go for solutions, is a very senior panel. I would like to introduce, starting off first, Mahesh Gamkar, retired SP. Mahesh Bab has been a terror, which is one thing which today is not happening. People are not scared of the police. They say, police ki nahi, 500 rupiya di, kawa jata. Mahesh Bab, when used to walk on the street, people used to piss this. I know, I have seen with my own eyes. Mahesh Bab, welcome to our show. Second, Nilesh Shah, good friend of mine, tourism advocate. He's been shouting from all the rooftops, right from taxis and whatever. So this is another issue which I immediately got a call from him that when these incidents happened, which we'll discuss. Nilesh Bab, welcome to our show once again. Kalambooth has been in the eye, under the spotlight. So today we have a prominent citizen, I would say citizen, because Kalambooth coastal belt is almost like a state on its own. Suresh Mahekar from Kalambooth. Suresh Bab, welcome to our show. And last, to give us a legal spin on it, Advocate Siddharth Sawant Bab. Now for all this, like these are all experts in their fields, but there has to be somebody who is balanced, who can give an overall view. So to do that, I have a senior journalist, my good friend Vital Bab Parvatkar. Vital Bab, welcome to our show. Hope you can keep a balance on the show as a journalist. So Mahesh Bab, I will put you under the spotlight first, because ultimately किथे जायचं police गायबात सगळे. So Mahesh Bab, tell me, what is the scene in Goa? What is happening, especially on the coastal belt? सांग आमका, and generally किती चाललं ते?
No, coastal belt, if you speak about coastal belt.
And generally in Goa, forget coastal.
Yeah, with this, there was that recent incident when I was, where this tourist was assaulted with the slicing injuries on his body. But when I came to know about the incident on the very first day, I felt that yes, this is a very heinous act. Definitely it is an heinous act. But the cause, the root cause of it, when I went to deeper into it, investigated, I realized that there was a lot of provocation from the tourists
Also.
But I cannot justify that action of this accused or these locals or this hotel staff, the way he assaulted him. See, if we go legally, there is a provision of self-defense, but there is a limit to what extent you can use that defense. Somebody slaps you, you cannot draw a sword and chop him. You cannot do that. And even if you are provoked, you are not supposed to slice a person in this manner.
Yeah,
that was heinous.
Yeah.
That was heinous, very bad. And no doubt such incidents take place. But the worst thing was that it was badly handled by police. I feel that it was very badly handled by police. See, there are provisions when the case of assault is reported. It starts from section 323, where they say it is plain assault. If you slap somebody, it is 323 and it is treated as NC. Thereafter the aggravated form is 324, then the 325, then the 326. And finally it is, if it is so bad and where the intentions of assault were to kill him, so there we apply section of 307, attempt to murder. And here in this case, prima facie, forget the evidence, looking at that body or looking at the physique of that person and those injuries, definitely it was a case of 326 or 307. There was no doubt about it. And when we read the news and people call us and they question us, "Arey, kiri challa na?" So then there is definitely a reaction of people on the media, people on the social sites, ki what is going on in Goa? That was a very bad incident for entire state, I would say.
Yes, yes.
It was a bad incident. And if you ask me, what are the repercussions of this and why it has happened, I would say, if we had to handle it properly, the police had to handle it properly, I don't think it would have been to this extent of damage to the state. Definitely.
I totally agree with you, Mahesh. I remember, I'm bringing back, they were laughing at me in the office about this. Scarlet case was like that only. It was made as an EUD and finished off. Then it brought up, and then what it did, ultimately it spoiled the name of Goa and Goans, for whatever the reason. It could have been easily been handled by the tip of the spear, the police at that moment, and finished off.
Yeah, I feel there was definitely we were lacking in proper supervision in this case.
Okay.
We could see, now we have suspended that PSI. Absolutely, I feel that it was not required. Why do you suspend that head constable or the PSI? Where was the PI? Where was the device P? Where was the SP?
Exactly.
They
are responsible.
There is a system in our department. Moment an offence is reported, we at least brief our next superior. Ki sir, this is such a such thing has happened, and we are registering so and so case. Forget that. On the next day morning, we brief the superior, the district SP, and we tell him, sir, yesterday we have registered this offence, and this is the development in this case. It is a routine. Now this issue did not come up for discussion before the department till it came up in the media. So what were you doing? You were just watching things what are happening.
Sleeping. Yeah, because it came out in the media. We came to know from the media when we saw the things on YouTube and whatever. Okay, moving from the police side of it, image of Goa. Goa is a tourism spot. And as it is, they are under a lot of stress from the tourism. We have so many other issues. What is this going to do? Anyway, first to give us a general.
I think
this is one
what
question
we feel that Goa is Goa today because of its people. Goa is known for its culture, for its friendliness. And over the years, I mean, always been saying that even they say that Maharashtra, with MUPA coming in, there will be competition there. But you can't replace that Goan hospitality anywhere. It cannot happen overnight. But the things which are happening, I think it is bad for overall industry and for the sustainability of tourism industry in Goa. When we talk about tourism, it is not only the person working in the hotel or owning the hotel or working in the travel or operating water sports. It is right from vegetable vendor, supplying vegetables to supplying fish, to person who is selling hardware for any events to happen, to stage to be constructed. So there are different layers which are involved directly and indirectly in the industry. And if it is affected, I think Goa will have very bad repercussions in the employment generation and overall the scenario of that peacefulness which we have in Goa. It started with that MPT, which started because the American tourists were not allowed to take the cabs. They didn't want to follow the queue system. So to start with, we are ourselves, there are certain systems in place which people don't want to follow, or through whatever political dispensation we want to have a via route or easy way route out. Now government is trying to put in the system, there is opposition. It may be for taxi for certain instance or water sports for that matter. So basically the one thing is very clear, that political dispensation has to be firm on when they have come out with some solutions. It cannot be the fancy of the political dispensation because that local person there does not want certain systems to be followed, will not follow it. I think so if that is done, these things will not happen. Secondly, as far as this Anjuna incident is concerned, it is very clear, unless some calls have not gone to them to hush up this situation, it will not have gone with the section, as Mahesh Babu said, those petty sections which I put in. And overall, the defending that, they should have come to them. See, basically, when we talk about policing, it is not only the fear factor, but it is the friendliness that once I go, there will be some solution, there will be a neutrality which will be followed, which is lacking. So people are afraid of, getting into the complaint zone, complaining or, making any this thing. Now, Goa government has recently come out with the toll-free number, wherein they will connect to different people. Now, this number was there when this incident happened. But I think the more publicity has to be given to with that there are solutions available. Secondly, the signage is available to work. See, Goa, another challenge is that सब कुछ चलता है. What we see is as and when we see people driving jeeps on the beaches. Not only that, on the road they will get up. When social media we see all those things. So basically, the tourist also has to make understand that once you are in fact that once you may be a tourist, we understand you have come to enjoy here, but then you have to remain within your framework and do not disturb the local public and local environment, which is because the locals are also staying here. It is not sab chalta hai attitude. So I think those things also has to be made very clear. Second is the Japan tourist which was looted. We believe that he must not have complained anyone. He must have gone somewhere or other, but he didn't find any response. So it went up to the consulate, and then the police starts investigating. And one thing, whatever I have seen still now, wherever if police wants to sort it out, specifically Goa is concerned, I think it is done in 2 days, 3 times. 3 days they have all the culprits been nabbed. So why they can't do it proactive and do it? Secondly is the question of tourist police coming in. Now they have initially they had launched last year some tourist police 2 years back, but that small batch they have to increase the tourist police thing, because what happens is when we talk about policing, like certain areas like tourist place where the incidents are happening, it is been like a recent incident was again of Old Goa where we see the security guards been can you imagine if it was a police guard there, that tourists would have gone and done this thing? The tourists would not have dared if it was a police person standing there. So certain things where police is required, I think we have to man with the policing specifically in all the tourist places where we require. And secondly, there has to be that friendliness from the police side also. As you come, you are welcome. If you have any incidents, we are there to solve your problem. Besides giving challenge to people who are driving on the bikes, because that is the easiest thing to do. And that also why it's happening. Like we see again, see this the one incident or the other day, one person rammed, and that poor fellow, 2 kids lost his father in the Alpara Anjuna band. Why it is happening? Why more and more people are taking to self-driving car? So I think somewhere we have to ask question ourselves. If proper taxi was available or proper transport is available, who wants to drive in the other state or for that matter anywhere? If the transport is properly available in the state, because of non-availability, people feel it's cheaper. Of course, you want to say that people wants to be little bit independent, or they want to have that feel of driving their own vehicle. But irrespective of that, if I can be rest assured, if there is a proper systems available, you will see less of road accidents on the road. Not only that, there will be more business for everyone on the complaint which is happening around. Again, I will come on the taxi issue. Government said that good, that we will give 1,000 unemployed youth taxi. That also we want to oppose. For what? You want new airport is come, already 40 flight plus have been added. Another from end of this one, another 6 flights will be added. So more number of flights means more number of tourists coming in. You want more people getting involved in tourism business. You want more and more people invest in the hotel industry or in any tourism related activity. But then if you don't follow that infrastructure of increasing the transport also and improving on the transport, I'm not talking only taxis, even we are talking about Kadamba and private, which government is talking that we are working on it. I think it's holistically we have to look at things and move on, and for sustainability is the key. So how we can wherein without disturbing the local ethos and move ahead with the tourism where it benefited to all the stakeholders in the industry.
Okay, thanks Nilesh. Now Sudesh Babu, Kalangut is one of the places which, it's not only Kalangut. Kalangut is one of the places which has been under the scanner. Plus now we've also heard this, like extortion. Agnel has been talking about extortion, and then Michael has been saying X, and then some fake letters, real letters. Nobody knows what's going on, but except you all. So what is going on in Kalangut?
See, let's start how tourism started.
Oh God. Okay, fine.
In early 70s, people started to, just come to Goa. They know about Goa because we have been ruled by Portuguese. All the European crowd started coming to Goa to, as Nilesh Bab said, because of Goan culture. आम्ही घरांनी रूम होमस्टे दिताले, तो तांकां आम्ही जेवण दिताले. Because of that relation was there, by which they started coming every year. After some time, what happened? We got through and we thought this can be commercialized. After commercialization of tourism, slowly even people from outside Goa started to invest in Kalangut or the beach belt per se. After that, our businesses, our small businesses started, like taxi for example, small restaurants, guest houses, everything started. Until in this past 15 years, I can say that we are eventually becoming commercialized. We are no more selling our culture, but we are known, or we are getting a bad name for wrong reasons. Example, that case what happened in Anjuna. We need to understand there were a quality of tourists which were coming back then. Now quality of tourists is been getting lower and worse, because as we say, there are chaddi tourists coming. Sorry to use this word, but it is a fact. Beach belt, the crowd which is coming is surviving on wine stores and those biryani thellas which we offer.
Which is for 100 rupees also.
100, even 90, they may put a good big board saying it is for 90 rupees. So what are we promoting? And we can say big businesses are targeting small businesses, in the sense we are playing a blame game. No one wants to take the blame on ourselves and getting together and solve this issue. Because tourism, as you, starting of the show, as you said, we are based on tourism. And yes, we are based on tourism, unless until we cannot take tourists for granted. There are a lot of things to be debated, but the bottom line here is we need to get together and work for a better quality of tourists. That is more important.
I don't think anybody is going to deny this particular thing. Sawan Bab.
First of all, I would say that there has to be a policy of tourism and a philosophy attached to it. Now, if you are going to present Goa as some kind of a casino capital of India, or if you are going to promote Goa as some kind of a pop culture where easy drugs will be available, then those kind of tourists will be coming here, and those kind of tourists inadvertently will bring along with them crimes, different kinds of crimes. Now I will give you an example. गॅमलिंग आलं, त्याच्या बरोबर हवाला येवपाक लागले, पैसे हाडपाक जाय, आनी कितें करपाक जाय, पैसे तू लूज जातले, मागीर रिकवरी आयले, त्याच्या बरोबर एक्सटॉर्शन स्टार्ट जाले, त्याच्या बरोबर ड्रग्स, जो कोण येता पळय ताका शेणलो काय, तो ही विल आस्क फॉर वेरियस थिंग्स, ताका ड्रग्स अवेलेबल करून दिवचे पडले. ड्रग्सा बरोबर इट हॅज इट्स ओन मेनेस, दोज मेनेसेस विल कम अलॉंग विथ इट. So therefore everything is, see, there is no quick fix. There is no quick fix for this. But at least amki policy and tourism philosophy, if we put it in order, most of this problem will be, at least we will find ways and means to solve and tackle this problem. What is the reason why these so many crimes are happening? It is because drugs are made, tourism, ड्रग्स ओडपा खातीर लागून किंवा ड्रग्साक लागून हांगासर येतात, आनी गॅमलिंगाक लागून येता, अल्कोहॉल, easy money, and all these things, there are touts which are generated, and it is their work bringing in situation like that. For everything, see, these touts are making available all these things, and in which the crimes are increasing. And of course there are nexuses also, whether it could be politician and say somebody who is running a big club, or at very small level some cops are also involved into this. But आमकां जर ही गोष्टी जर सॉल्व करपाक जाय जाल्यार एज अ दिस ऑफ अ पॉलिसी आमकां हे पयलीं सॉल्व करचें पडटलें. नाव वी विल टेक small issues like for example the tourist attack झालो टुरिस्टाचा तो घेऊया. It was basically a small thing which unfortunately was blown out of proportion, and for that unfortunately the reputation of Goa as peace loving place or a tourist which were म्हणजे निश्चिंतपणे जे लोक हांगासर येताले भोंवपाक पळय that image has taken a hit. As I said, whatever I also tried to learn from locals and even the hotel owners and other people there, that basically the tourist here itself, they were on the wrong side. Of course, nobody says that those who have attacked him should be scot free. They will face त्यांच्या against हे झाला. But what has happened against tourists? Is there an offense? Can you go and assault some hotel staff? Is that not punishable? Nothing has been registered against those. The tourists also were on the wrong side. So therefore, हांगा जर तुम्ही येतले जाल्यार आणि निलेश बाबान सांगला तशें कायद्याच्या चौकटीन रावन तुम्ही सगळे हे करचे पडटले, शिस्त तुमकां पाळची पडटली. हांगासर लोकूय रावतात. सो whenever you are going, how many tourists are coming, तांचो क्राउड कितलो जाता, लोकांक तांचो फरक कितलो पडटा, तांची वागणूक कशी आसा, बिचाचेर तुम्ही गाडयो घेवन वता आणि what kind of freedom you want to enjoy, are you enjoying the similar freedom at your native place? So when you come here, how things could be different for you? So all these things हाका लागून पहिली गोष्ट म्हणजे आमची टुरिझम पॉलिसी घेवची पडटली. आमी कितें प्रमोट करतले ते आमकां पयली ताचेर आमचेर विचार करचो पडटलो. त्या प्रमाणे आमी जर वचत जाल्यार हे टुरिझम रिलेटेड
I agree. But विठ्ठल बाब, now next you. But I एक सांगू सोदता आता implementation. See what Nilesh Bab says, I totally agree. अरे कुछ भी चलता है, not only कुछ भी चलता है for tourists, कुछ भी चलता है for locals also. Now you look at the Panjim bus stand, ते चिंबेलकार पळय येता थिंगा, कुछ भी चलता है. Look at the touts in Miramar or in Kalamut, कुछ भी क्या मांगता है आपको? डांस बार मांगता है, लड़की मांगता है, ये मांगता है. Go. You think the cops don't know this? The cops know everything. This Mahesh Babu, I'll bring Mahesh Babu. Everything they know what's going on the coastal belt. Everything they know what's going on in Panjim. They don't want to act. Now why? Why they don't want to act is something that we need to discuss. विठ्ठल
हय, म्हणजे कशें आसा गोंयांत आमचे टुरिस्ट होच बिझनेस आसा मेन. म्हणजे मायनिंगचे आता गेल्यातूच जमा तो स्टार्ट जातलो आनी कितें जातलो. हेज्या फुडें टुरिस्टाच्या बिझनेसाचेरूच आमचे गोंय कितें आहा तें चलतलें. आनी टुरिस्ट म्हटल्या उपरांत आमी म्हणटा की दर्या सायडीचे बीच लेवलाचेर ज्यो कांय वायट गोष्टी घडटात, जे क्रायम घडटात, ताका जितले टुरिस्ट जबाबदार आसा तितले थंयचे स्थानिकूय जबाबदार आसात.
I agree.
आमकां खबर आसा मोरजे सारख्या जाग्यांनी आपली स्वताची घरां जी आसा ती टुरिस्टाक भाड्याक पयशाक लागून दितात आनी आपूण खंयच्या तरी खाचीत रावतात टुरिस्ट सिजनात. आनी मोठ्या प्रमाणात थंय टुरिस्ट मागीर ते हे जातात. सगळे चडशे कडेन जाला. आनी कसलो बिझनेस आनी थंय कशें जाला, पुलिसांनी किंवा आनी कोणी सरकारने कितें कारवाई केल्यार रोखडोच हे जाता. तेंच्यांनी बेकायदेशीर कारवाई केली न्हू जाल्यार ते चलता. एक कसले तरी लायसन काडपाचें बिझनेसाचें आनी तेच्या 10 जाग्याचेर बिझनेस करपाचो अशे प्रकार चल्ला आसा. पुलिसांचेर राजकारण्याचो दबाव आसा म्हणून एक्ट जायना अशें आमकां तरी दिसता. जर राजकारणी ऑर्डर काडटा न्हय जाल्यार रोखडे पुलीस एक्ट जातात आनी कारवाई करतात. आता सत्ताधारी पक्षाचो एक आमदार सांगता की हप्ते मागतात हॉटेलाचेर म्हणून, तो काय तक्रार करिना पुलिसा कडेन. कांयच जायना मागीर तेचे कितें जाता, कांयच जायना. कोणाचीच कितें स्टेटमेंट ना, काय ना तशें जाता. आता corruption is
law and order. Why corruption? You forget about all this. It's a law and order. Extortion is a law and order issue. It is not corrupt. Law and order. Simple.
Extortion is a different.
This is extortion. Out and out extortion.
Extortion is a different issue. We'll come to extortion.
No, but MLA, former and present are talking about extortion. EXT.
हप्ता.
Okay, COVID. Sorry, apologies. Hafta. We'll end this segment with you. Yeah. Tell me, police don't know any of this? Samaka, can I believe that?
कितें आसता ना, बेसिकली आमची पळय सिस्टम आसा, पुलीस सिस्टम, इट इज लायक पिरामीड.
Okay.
It lower subordinates.
Samanta also part of the pyramid.
Lower subordinates are there at the base level. Then it gradually gets tapering. So आमकां ते ट्रेनिंगाक सांगताले की तू जिसका फौजदार डॅश उसकी फौज डैश होना. So I would feel, you know, if you have got a good leader or a good senior
Always
officer,
said that.
he can put things
Always
in
said
order.
that.
Because he has got more control and he can percolate his ideas down the line. Suppose if you fail in proper supervision, I will tell you, police is such a department which requires constant supervision.
No, every department. Why only police?
No, police are more vulnerable for things. That is why, you know, because and we are supposed to act instantly. We don't have time like other offices. So एक file जर आयली न्ही, you can look into it on the next day or after 2 days. Police is not like that. आता incident झालं पळय तो attack झालो नाजाल्यार आनी कितें झालो. Unless police act instantly, no, you definitely come under fire. आता हांगा जालें कितें, हांगा as I mentioned earlier की I found that it was badly handled by police or it was badly supervised by senior
Total
officers.
supervision.
हय. आणि कितें आशिल्लें, बारीक सबऑर्डिनेट जर कितें मिस्टेक केली न्ही, द सिनियर कॅन रेक्टिफाय इट. If seniors fail, who will rectify it? That's the problem. So we require good seniors.
See, as I always said, in fact, Samant Baba and me, we always have this argument. Whatever team you may have, if your leader is useless, you are dead.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You may have a bad team, but if you have a good leader, you can survive. But you have a bad leader and a very good team, chances na. Regular argument asks me. If you have to set up your team, your leadership doesn't. The leader doesn't have to do work. He has to just supervise and get the job done. Okay, we are out of time in this segment. This was interesting. It's not reached any sort of a conclusion, but we will see you in the second part of this episode. Thanks, guys, and keep watching Goa 365.